Hey there, Jamie with Brazelton Realty here. Are you thinking of moving to Colorado, but are you worried about how the legalization of marijuana has affected the state? If so, you want to keep watching this video because I'm going to talk about the pros and the cons of the legalization of marijuana. And if you're interested in watching more of these videos, subscribe now and hit the little bell icon and you'll be notified when new videos arrive. So keep watching. All right, so you're thinking of moving to Colorado, but you're worried about the effects legalization of marijuana has had on the state. In 2012, we passed a bill that allowed the sale of marijuana from a state perspective. Now, I will say this to start things off. Since then, a number of states have also legalized marijuana, and I'm going to show a map up here of all the states right now where it's legal to smoke and sell marijuana. Now, whether you voted for the legalization or didn't vote for the legalization, which I did not, what has happened has been pretty interesting actually, because from a state level, it got legalized to sell marijuana, but from a local city and local municipality perspective, they started putting restrictions on how many miles it could be from a school or from a library or a public building. And in essence, a lot of the towns and cities within Colorado, in fact, I would say the majority of them, have essentially banned the sale of marijuana within their cities. Now, one of the ways that they sold the legalization of marijuana to us is they said the crime rate would go down because they wouldn't have to arrest people for smoking marijuana, and that it would also generate a lot of revenue through the taxation of marijuana. Now, something that we found out is even though they've generated a lot of revenue, using that revenue for useful purposes has been very difficult and in some cases impossible. And the crime rate, don't quote me on this, but the crime rate seems to have gone up because we have also seen some homeless population come into certain parts of Colorado. Now, I say that the homeless population has gone up in certain parts of the state. Really, it's centered around the places where the dispensaries are located. The cities and towns where the dispensaries are banned, we're not really seeing an increase in the homeless population there. All in all, I don't see a huge effect that marijuana has brought into Colorado. It certainly has made regulation of marijuana difficult. I do think the crime rate has increased. We've seen an increase in homeless population within cities that the dispensaries are located in. But when you go to the cities where they're not located in, really there's not a big difference. You're not going to walk down the street and smell a bunch of marijuana typically being smoked. And so you can have a choice. If you want to go to a place where marijuana is legal, at least legally sold and legally used, we have cities like that here in Colorado. If you don't like that, then we also have really the majority of the cities where you can live in and not have to be affected by it as much. Now, I hope this video was helpful. I'm going to list some different property reports or real estate reports for different towns that don't allow marijuana in them, or at least sold in them. And I'm going to list them in some links down in the description below. So if you're interested in checking some of those cities out, go ahead and download that link and it'll be a free property report to you. It's really helpful information, and I hope that it helps you make an informed decision when you're looking at buying a property here in Colorado.